Before we dive into today's episode, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsor, PensionBee. Between juggling work, parenting, the school run, and figuring out what's for dinner, sorting out your pension is probably at the very bottom of your list. But here's the thing: future you deserves a bit of love too. That's where PensionBee comes in. They're a leading online pension provider, making it easier for people, especially single parents like us, to feel confident about saving for retirement. Whether you're employed, self-employed, or somewhere in between, they make it simple to combine old pensions into one easy to manage plan. Make flexible contributions in a few clicks and choose a plan that aligns with your values. You can manage it all from their easy to use app, which honestly feels like a little win in your day. And we know single parents are experts at celebrating the little wins. So, if you've got old pensions floating around in the ether, or you've just never got round to opening one, this is your sign. Head to pensionbee.com/UK or download the app to get started. It only takes a few minutes, and trust me, future you will thank you for it. Just remember, as with all investments, your capital is at risk. Thanks again to PensionBee for supporting this episode. Hi, I'm Zoë Desmond, the founder of Frolo, the award-winning app for single parents that features both community and dating modes. And I'm also co-author, along with my wonderful friend Rebecca Cox, that I made through Frolo, of the book How to Be a Happy Single Parent. Welcome back to the Frolo podcast. I'm Zoe, the founder of Frolo, the app for single parents, and today's episode is something a little different. This special episode is a collaboration with Khalifa Araba, the voice and founder behind the Happy Single Mom podcast. Khalifa is doing amazing work creating a safe space for single mothers to feel seen, supported, and inspired through her podcast, her platform, and her story. And I'm really looking forward to having a conversation with Khalifa based on honesty and our own stories. And I'm just really looking forward to this chat and this very unique special episode.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for having me. I am Zoe. I have seen the amazing stuff that Frolo are doing, especially down to, I think, one of the biggest pain points, especially as a single parent, is trying to navigate dating. And I think that many a times we think that, okay, maybe when the kids are a little bit older, but then there's certain new changes that happen. So with every year that you wait when it comes to holding off with dating, things happen in life.
Oh, well, you have gone straight to one of the areas that I know single parents really enjoy hearing about. And so looking forward to unpacking dating with you for sure. And it was something that was on my list to chat about today. So I guess, yeah, firstly, and I know that we're going to bounce around with questions to each other, and this is going to be a very conversational style chat really. But where I always start with the Frolo podcast, because I know that anyone listening in from the Frolo podcast side of things will be very interested to know about you and your background and your story. So what is your story? How did you end up entering the world of single parenthood, and also from there to having the vision and drive to setting up the Single Mom podcast?
Yeah. Well, I started the podcast during the pandemic, and came out of pain because I found that there was a particular time I was just going through it emotionally as a single parent, and I called up a charity and I explained to them that I'm a bit sad, I'm a single parent, and they asked me a series of questions. And the questions went like, are you homeless? I said, no, I'm not homeless. Are you financially stable? Are you on benefits? I said, I'm not on benefits. I'm currently working for the Ministry of Justice. I've got a law degree, I've got a master's, and I own my own home. And the kind of energy I kind of got was, okay, well, then what's your problem? And I'm like, but you're meant to be a charity to help single parents. So that's what the genesis of the reason why I started it, because I felt like, hold on, wait. So there wasn't really a demographic of single motherhood. It was like you're either struggling, and those are the people that we are looking for in regards to the struggling single mom, but not anyone that kind of was in between, the in-betweener. And I found that in society, a lot of times people wanted me to be unhappy as a single
Yeah.
parent. They wanted me to be sad. They wanted me to be downcast. So that's kind of why I called it the Happy Single Moms podcast. So that's where the podcast came from. How did I end up a single mama? Ooh, child. I met this guy in college, and he was 5 years older than me. Very, very charming. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. Looking back now, it was kind of like, not, I wouldn't say grooming, but just manipulation. I ended up leaving my parents' premises to go and stay with him in a hostel. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's so stupid when I think about it now. But throughout that time that I was dating him, I was still doing my law degree, still pursuing my degree, my career, but he wasn't. So he then use that to kind of, I don't know, just attack me in every argument. So I already knew that this wasn't going anywhere, because I am trying to reach for the stars and you were just stagnant, and yet you were 5 years older than me. So when I became pregnant with my son, I informed him and I said, look, I'm pregnant. And he said, well, there's something I've got to tell you. And the thing was that he had met someone else.
Oh,
And yeah, he had met someone. And I was like, where did you have the time? Oh, men can multitask, my God. But anyway, so he had met someone else and she's pregnant. And he then proposed to her. I was dating this
no.
guy, Zoe, for 10 years of my life. 10
Wow.
years. I was just a numpty, just in La La
No, I
Land.
mean, this is wild. I cannot believe that he dating you for 10 years
Mm.
and then goes off and gets, is having this completely double life. He should have been focusing on his studies by the sounds of things.
I was none the wiser. I was not, and that's why I feel like I can blame him, but then the onus also falls on me in regards to how complicit I was, how I didn't see the signs, how I just was coasting throughout the relationship. Because I feel like ultimately, if you are dating somebody and they haven't said anything and like what's happening, where are we going, like
Mm,
future plans. But I think I was just comfortable,
yeah,
really docile and naive as well. I think that sometimes you have to take off the rosy colored spectacles, especially when you are in love. I think, and I don't even like the terminology falling in love. I don't want to fall in love. I want to walk in love, because oftentimes if you fall, you're going to hit your head. And I hit my head hard. So after I told him I was pregnant, he asked me to have a termination, and he said he'll give me the £500 for the termination, and I declined. And one of the reasons why I declined was because I wanted my baby, and I also had a termination for him before. And the thing is, I thought the termination was just going to go in and out of the clinic, and that was fine. And I was fine for a while. But then there was a particular day, Zoe, and a Pampers advert bloody came on the TV, and I was crying. And I started doing the calculations. I was like, oh, my child would have been one by now. Like, it was so, the emotional ramifications of doing something like that. By all means, if you feel, whatever, your decisions are your decisions, yeah? Yeah. However, for me, when I got pregnant again, I said that's something I would never do. And he knew. So when he said to me, well, if you're not doing it, you're on your own. And I said, fine. So I kind of knew from the genesis that this was it. And it actually has been like that for the past 14 years. My son is an actor. He was signed by Disney, plays Simba in
Wow.
Lion King. Yeah.
My dog is called Simba.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
We're a big fan of the Lion King in this house.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. We've got all the merch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he signed to one of the top modeling agencies in the UK. So, and he attended Royal Academy of Music. So my thing is,
Incredible.
I did all of that and I have no regrets, even down to his dad. I actually think that he gave me the best gift I could
Mm,
ever have asked for. So for me, my whole ethos is about, all right, cool, some men can do whatever they want to do, but we have to take ownership as well. But then what next? Because I say on my podcast as well that when my son's dad left me, I let him leave the door, but then I then let anger come in my life, bitterness come in my life, resentment come in my life, and I wore it, and it was very, very comfortable to wear that. Woe is me. Woe is me, I've been wronged. And it's very, very comfortable to be there, but I stayed there for way too bloody long. And I then made a decision that I want my son to have a happy mum. And that's how it's been ever since. But it took me a heck of a long time.
but that's amazing. And that you explain it that way, that it was that you made a decision. And because it is so powerful, isn't it? Like when we do just make that decision in our heads, and sometimes we need to remind ourselves, but I think that's that's so powerful and will be helpful to so many people listening to this who might be in that space of that resentment. And I think it's something that often comes up even just between my single parent friends, is the injustice of a situation, where it's like, oh my God, the injustice of this, like that I just have to deal with this or accept this, and I think it can feel like there's a lot of injustice, but I suppose turning to, expecting that to just magically go away and being annoyed and frustrated until it does is only going to make the situation, yeah, more difficult.
Yeah, and I think that it's hard as well to come to terms that you might not, yeah, the injustice of it all. And I actually saw my son's dad last year. My girlfriend was having a baby shower. So I went to Costco to go and purchase some stuff for the baby shower. And lo and behold, do you know when you just feel someone staring at you? So then I turned around and he was there. And then he scurried his scoot of the trolley to me, and he was like, "Oh, Khalifa, I'm so sorry. I would love to just let you know all the stuff that I've been experiencing and going through." Not one time did he ask about his kid. It was just about I'm sorry. I need to tell you this. And then I was like, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't. It's been how many years? You have never even cared to say, let me send my kid, a fiver, or let me. What blood group is my kid, or how is my son doing? Like, you decided just to cut us out because you had a new starter pack family. Yeah. Anyway, so I say all of that to say this, that he was in Costco, someone that had abandoned me, buying water, Zoe. He was buying bloody water. And in my mind, I had pictured like, oh, when I see him, I'm going to say this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to, you know, and that is a reality of life, that we might not get the justice that we are seeking. The people that hurt us, offend us, abandon us might just be in bloody Costco buying water. They're living their life. So we have choices to make.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because that
absolutely.
picture that we have in like, and maybe Hollywood has deceived us to think that, oh yeah, the vengeance and, like you be justified. No, it does. That's not real life. Sometimes the bad guys get the promotions.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And I think having the ability to be able to detach from that and take the reins of our own kind of life and emotions, knowing that peace might never be made in the way that we want it to be, or the wrongs will never, be made right. But and does your how is your son with how has he been with not having that access to his dad?
I think that number one, you don't miss what you don't have. Yeah. But I would say when he was much younger, he used to ask a heck of a lot of questions. Why don't I have a daddy? And blah, blah, blah. And I used to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I used to say, oh, he's not in the country, or he's busy. And there was a particular time where I had to sit down and say, look, this is the reality of where we're at now. I'm your mummy. I love you. I had a baby with somebody that wasn't ready, which is the truth in a way. I said he wasn't ready. And I let that go. But then 2 years ago, he had an argument with one of his close friends that he's grown up with. And then that person said, that's why you don't have a dad.
Oh no. Insane.
So kids
Why
can
are
be
why are kids so mean
little
sometimes?
bloody
They go
tossers.
for the they
The
go for
jugular.
the
Yeah.
yeah, they go for the jugular.
Yeah.
It's so lazy to,
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't, because obviously as a parent we can be in Delulu and be like, oh yeah, he's fine, he's okay. But that I think that really, really hurt and impacted him. Oh, my bad. And then and we had a conversation, and I also said to him that, look, you have a choice right now, yeah? You can either let this be something that is your Achilles heel going forward, or you can keep it pushing. I said, you have a choice. Do you want this to be your story? And because I do life coaching as well, so that's how we speak with each other. I'm honest. I'm like, do you want this to be your crutch? If you want it to be your crutch, that's how it's going to be. And then anyone that says anything regarding your dad is going to constantly hurt you because they know where to cut you. And I said, and also, I have never once, Zoe said to him that he can't call his father, he can't reach out. I said, the option is yours. Like, it's in what do you want to do? And he said, no, I don't want to. I don't want to reach out. I don't want nothing to do with him. So I said, fine, okay. So that's where we're at right now.
it sounds like you're doing an absolutely incredible job, and that you have a 14-year-old son, and it sounds like he's sort of living an amazing life and doing really well. And kudos to you for being, the strong, empowered
Yeah.
mom that you are, and also showing him through your own experience and your own way of, transforming your mindset into a growth mindset in real time, and being able to lead by example. That's absolutely amazing. So he's, yeah, a lucky boy.
It's been hard work, and I'm still learning on a daily basis. And I think that that's the reality of single motherhood, the fact that it's a thankless job. And my thing is, no matter how much support you can get, no matter how much people can be there, when you are alone by yourself after a long ass day, having to think about council tax and then clubs and then work and dating, like, it is such a massive sandwich to try and bite. And I think that yeah, kudos to every single mom that's out there and still ticking over, because it's hard. And another thing that I wanted to mention, during the pandemic, I don't know, I can't remember the exact study, but so many women committed suicide during the pandemic, especially single moms. But it was mostly in America. So when I saw that, I was like, why aren't people talking about this? The struggles, the real life struggles, and the kids are being left behind because there's no support. But we also need to say, I need help.
Yeah, and I think your point about getting in touch with the charity and them trying to gauge it by thinking, well, are you homeless? Are you on the bread? Like all of that, there's a massive blind spot because it doesn't matter, of course, there's different, I suppose, a different range of how intense and how challenging things can be depending on the circumstances. But as a baseline for single parents, there's that having, that overwhelm, having to make all of the decisions on your own, having to be the full emotional support, like CEO of your household, kind of cleaning up the sick in the middle of the night when it happens, being sick yourself and having sick children. There's so many points that can feel really overwhelming and really, really lonely. And as you say, then when that becomes, so hard and overwhelming for the single parent, then the kids, it impacts them, which is, yeah, why I just think, community and really sharing our stories and experiences is so important.
Yeah, community is key, and that's why I share a lot on my community, where I'm even heavy on diversifying your income and having a side hustle. I had a workshop surrounding life insurance. Like, if we can get our nails done, ladies, we can get life insurance. Yeah. We have to consider what happens when we pass, especially as single moms. When you are by yourself, please try and have a junior ISA that doesn't cost that much and have life insurance, funeral cover. I am begging you, because we are living in survival mode. And yeah, we also need to consider what happens once we are gone. So that's what I'm trying to push heavily on my platform, that please, let's just start thinking about what happens later.
Yeah. And so you've obviously been a single parent now for 14 years. How has it changed you as a person? The following is a paid advertisement from BetterHelp. I want to talk about mental health for a minute. Being a single parent comes with its highs and lows, and as single parents, it's so important to make sure we look after ourselves in the process. That's why I'm excited to introduce you to BetterHelp, the online therapy service that's here to support you every step of the way. With BetterHelp, you can connect with registered therapists from the comfort of your own home. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or just need someone to talk to, they're here to help. Plus, as a Frolo member, you get an exclusive 25% off your first month. Just visit betterhelp.com/Frolo. That's betterhelp.com/Frolo.
How has it changed me? I would say having a child by yourself is one of the hardest things you can ever do. So nothing really phases me in regards to life. I think that, yeah, it's developed grit, and a grit that I never even knew I had. I don't like saying when people say you're strong, but was made strong. Life will make you strong with pressure. But I have had wonderful support. My son has showed me how I can be soft and strong at the same time. And yeah, it's been a heck of a journey, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think that it does create insane grit. I mean, every single parent has that grit, and I guess we didn't have a choice. We just had to. But then I think with that grit and resilience, it builds on your self-esteem because, then I think you think, well, actually, I can kind of get through anything. And I didn't realize I was as strong as I am. And actually, I don't need another half because managing to, I managed to figure it out on my own. So I think there are so many beautiful silver linings that come from the challenging, from the challenges of the experience. And I always say to people, I feel like it's been the making of me as a person.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times as well, and I think we touched upon dating in the beginning. I think that a lot of single moms move in our masculine energy, which isn't, we move in our masculine energy because we are heads of households. We are
Mm-hmm.
like the bodyguards of our kids' lives and our lives as well. And I think sometimes it's difficult for certain men to be able to understand that masculine energy. That instead of me asking you to pull up a shelf for me, if you can't do it, I'm doing it myself. I'm getting someone to do it. And I think that sometimes some men are wired for the damsel, you know.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
difficulty about being a single mom is that we cannot afford to be a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Because when we were the damsel in distress and we were Rapunzel, no one came to save us. We had to cut that hair and climb down. So it's hard now to navigate dating for a lot of single moms that I speak to alongside myself when
Mm.
I don't have time for BS. Like,
I hear you. I hear you. And isn't that so liberating though? It's I think it's liberating to be coming from a place of not having a time for BS, being more discerning, hopefully being a lot wiser to what we don't need to put up with or don't want to put up with or isn't. But yeah, I'm interested to hear how your experience is of dating or what your attitude is to it. Are you totally open minded to it and would you love to meet someone, or are you sort of guarded? I think a lot of us can be somewhere on that. Yeah.
spectrum.
Mm,
Yeah, do you know what? I want more kids.
mm,
Yeah. And selfishly as well, I feel like I want more kids because I want my son's an only child. I would love him to have siblings. Um, I would say so I am open to marriage. I want a good Christian man. Yeah. So I'm open to marriage. I'm open to marriage. I'm open to more children. Um, However, I feel like I've tried dating apps as well. And I just feel like a lot of men are not men in. That's not even a word. But I just think that there needs to be a deprogramming with a lot of men that I've met. And I have met some wonderful individuals. And the thing is, sometimes when I speak to a lot of single moms, they say to me, well, there's a stigma with men that I've dated. They don't want to date single moms. I haven't had that experience personally. I feel like I've had the opposite. I've had men say, oh, is your son into football? Oh, let me buy him a
yeah.
football, you know? So I
Yeah.
haven't had that experience. So it's weird to me when a lot of women say, oh, no, a guy said, and I see the rhetoric online as well, but I haven't experienced that.
Are you open to dating single dads and
Yeah,
single not,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and non-single parents? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm open and I'm ready. But and I think that love for me, I'm a lover girl. Love is beautiful when it's done right and it's fantastic. So I still believe that there are billions of people on this planet, so there is someone out there for everybody. But some of the men that I have dated after my son's dad, I think the longest I was in a relationship was 4 years, and then he moved back to Poland. So I was like, and I went out to Poland. I was like, this isn't this country. Yeah, I can't do it. So yeah, that's the position. It's just blah.
And how do you navigate kind of dating or introducing someone to your son? How does that all work? Or any advice for anyone listening to this episode that might be, about considering how to do that for the first time? Do you have any sort of shared experience?
I would say for me, I was quite guarded. One of the reasons why I was guarded, because of I worked in social services after I left the Ministry of Justice, so I was heavy on safeguarding, yeah, for men and women. So when it came to dating, I've only introduced one person to my son, but that wasn't as my partner. I said, "Oh, this is mummy's friend," because mummy's friend kept on coming to the house to watch movies, you know. So I feel like do what works for you. I also think that you have to really, really gauge your child's body language, see whether your child is open and ready. And bearing in mind, some kids might just have like a jealousy kind of thing, like, oh, I don't want anyone near my mum. But make sure if your child is uncomfortable around this individual, if your child says, Mummy, I don't like him, please listen to that. And I also want to say, do not wait until the kids get older before you start dating, ladies. That's always the best advice. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, getting dressed, putting your makeup on, going out to a beautiful restaurant and having someone just to speak to is such a fantastic thing. Don't forget that you are a beautiful woman, So enjoy the enjoy being courted, if that's the word. Yeah, enjoy going out, having a laugh. It's normal behavior. But I think that when it comes to the introduction of the kids, I don't necessarily agree with that one at times, because I know that there are certain people that, okay, they've dated this one and the relationship doesn't end and it will just be like an assembly line of different people. I think that can be quite dangerous, but I think that this is your household. You run it how you want and do what makes sense for you. But for me, when it came to dating, I didn't do that. Even my son's the one that's saying, Mum, like, why can't you get a boyfriend? So so now he's the one that's kind of like
Yeah,
pushing me out there.
yeah. Well, that's sweet. That's sweet. So what are you hoping to find? What does a man who is manning, what does that look like?
I think that number one, I want someone that is a Christian, so that's my first thing. Number two, I need a man that sticks to his word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And I think that we live in a society whereby people don't stick to what they say they're going to do. If you're going to love someone, love them. If you're going to be there, be there. you know I need someone that is emotionally intelligent, and doesn't need to be pampered and doesn't need 24-hour attention, because I just feel like the reason why I say some men are not men is because they go from one breast, i.e. their mother, to another breast, i.e. their spouse. you know, I want a relationship whereby I can be in a passenger seat and relax and trust that you are taking us somewhere and I can sleep. I think that sometimes in my relationships in the past, I've had to be in a driver's seat and it's bloody exhausting, you know? So that's where I'm at when it comes to navigating relationships. And if I want a man, a strong, tall man.
Well, you put it out to the universe and you put it out to the Frolo podcast, which a lot of Frolo single dads listen to. So you never know, there might just be a gorgeous, tall, Christian, emotionally evolved man listening to this. Let's hope.
Amen.
Amen. What would you say are the most challenging parts of being a single parent for you, even after even 14 years in? Are there certain kind of trigger points?
Most challenging is remembering that I am a single mum. I put out a post the other day saying I was having a wonderful day, Zoe, and then it was like, I don't know whether it was like I flatlined. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this alone. I'm actually doing this alone. Like, oh my God, like every decision is, so I think there are times whereby you're living life and you just remember like, shit, I am doing this by myself. So I think that's been and I'm not, I'm over it, but I'm just saying that sometimes you just remember and you think it didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way, but this is the reality. And yeah, I'm happy. And I wouldn't change it, but I just think there's certain times you just think, oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think it's one of the things. Well, I'm in a co-parenting situation, so right now my son is on holidays with his dad for 2 weeks, and I do find that difficult. I find it the contrast of, going from one mode, which is switched on mom mode, everything's chaotic, juggling, and then suddenly it's like, wow, just quiet, but almost too quiet, and wondering if he's okay, wondering what he's up to, trying to, it feels a little bit, I suppose, unnatural that like your own child is in another country and you don't really have a way to connect with them. So yeah, that's something that never gets easier. I have my own kind of coping mechanisms and mantras and distraction methods. But yeah, I think there's certain things for us single parents that no matter how far into the journey you get, that, as you say, sometimes it's like, whoa, yeah, that still hits. And what are some of your favorite things about being a single parent? Because I think it's really important as well, and it's obviously why you called your podcast the Happy Single Mom podcast, to highlight that there are wonderful aspects. So what are your favorite things?
I would say my favorite thing about being a single mom is being able to identify how strong your child can make you. I didn't know me until I had him, if you get what I mean. Even though I feel like it feels like my son's been around forever, even though he's only been around for 14 years. But I would say that there's a level of strength and innate ability that kids give you. So I would say that really gives me joy. It really gives me joy, the fact that I can say, I did that alone. And I had obviously friends and family that helped. And what's funny also is that I still know a lot of my friends that we grew up with. And I obviously had my son when I was 24. And now we're 38 years old, and some of them don't have kids. So the conversations that I'm hearing now is, Khalifa, I want to do it alone by myself right now because my clock is ticking. So it's just ironic, the fact that you might be, as a single parent, thinking, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. My child, I'm stressed out. But look, when you go through the wire and you're at the other side and people are coming to you for advice and they're saying, how do you do it? I want to be a single mom. I don't care who gets me pregnant. I just need to have a kid now. Like, the conversations are so different after a couple of years. Your finances might look different, your emotions might look different, but sometimes we focus on the here and now, and the here and now is going right now. Time is ticking, so I think that as a single parent, it's hard, but it's also joyful because
Yeah.
I've had a kid. People have to do IVF. You've got a wonderful gift. And I'm like I keep on saying, I know it's stressful because I'm just reinforcing the fact that I am acknowledging how stressful it is. But then also, gratitude is something we need to have on a daily basis because our kids are gifts from God. Like, they are gifts.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think that's beautiful advice and framing, because it's so true. It is such a gift. And of course there are, very challenging, hard moments where you feel like you're sinking. And again, there are different sets of circumstances which make it even more challenging. But yeah, I think if you can lean into that gratitude as much as possible and embrace the time. And just before we started recording, you were saying that your son is 14 now, and I'm so scared of the years flying by so quickly. I really am. So it's, my son is 9 now, and I just want to freeze time. So yeah, I'm really trying to not not wish any time away, and just really, really, just really lean into enjoying every moment as much as possible. And then, of course, it's, of course, then there's the moments where it's like, oh my God, this is so stressful. Or can you just put on your freaking shoes? Or
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, I think that's a really important aspect of it. What an interesting ride and what an interesting journey.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. But I wouldn't change it. And yeah, like you mentioned, time does not respect anybody. I think this year has gone so frigging quick. It's quite scary. And yeah, I wish I could go back and enjoy just a little bit more the cuddles on the chair and the games and stuff. But yeah, now he's into his gaming and you go into the room and his mum, I'm busy, I'm talking on the Discord, whatever you call that thing. Like they just, it's just
Oh, Khalifa, I'm going to be coming to you in a few years. Well, yeah, yeah, in a couple of
yeah.
years, probably asking for your advice. Maybe you need to do a master class for,
On
yeah,
teenagers. Oh
yeah,
gosh, but yeah, they are cute though, because I have noticed that he's still my baby's still in there, because like, even when he goes to the shop, he would go and like buy crisps or whatever, and he's like, oh mama, he knows I really like yellow Fanta, so he was like, oh mama, I bought you a Fanta, so I'm
sweet,
just like, oh my
so
baby.
sweet, so adorable. I
I
know.
know.
It's things
So
like that make your heart melt.
it just makes your heart melt. But yeah, just
Yeah,
enjoy it. No matter what they do and what they say. We all were little terrors at one point in our lives. So I think it's just payback. It's Earth's
yeah.
way of
Well, my mom's favorite thing to say to me is that karma is a bitch. So, but when it comes to the teenage years, so yeah, apparently the universe
is going to.
owes me. Yeah, it's payback time.
Yeah, and it's not even that bad, to be fair. It's not as if like they're, running around and, bunking from school, but I just think it's just the change that you can actually see,
Yeah,
the change. Yeah, like I can't walk into his room like I used to before,
yeah,
because he's a man now. So so yeah, it's different, but it's a wonderful thing to see your child grow as well. Like you just think, oh my gosh, like you don't need help with this. You can
wow,
cook by yourself.
it's so
Yeah, so
crazy. It's so crazy.
it's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you for again framing it that way, that it's about leaning into like all of the beauty of these different phases and stages, I suppose. Well, Khalifa, like you are doing an amazing job. It's so lovely to, learn more about you, learn more about your world. And, I love the work that you're doing. And let's continue to think of ways that we can collaborate in order to support single parents. And, we mentioned the blind spot that there is. And, I know that it's important to both of us through our work to address that. So yeah, always up for keeping the lines of communication open and how we can find ways to do that together too.
Brilliant. We should have like an event or something, like a
Yes,
Frolo and Happy Single Mums event.
yeah, definitely.
Mingling, dating.
Yes, we will. We
Yeah.
will brainstorm offline.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And where can people find you, Khalifa?
So I am on Instagram, Happy Single Mums Podcast. Likewise, same handle for Twitter, same handle for TikTok as well. And yeah, on Spotify, I'm on all streaming platforms. Just Happy Single Mums Podcast.
Brilliant. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you everybody for listening to this episode of the Frolo podcast. See you soon. And that's a wrap for this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you did, then I have one small favour to ask. please can you take a minute to subscribe to the Frolo podcast and give us a rating and review. This really helps other single parents who might benefit from it find us. The Frolo app, which is fully user verified for user safety, is available on the Google Play Store and the App Store, and you can find out more info and download links at www.frolo.com or follow us on Instagram at FroloApp. And you can purchase your copy of our book, How to Be a Happy Single Parent, at all the major book retailers. Until next time, have a great week.